Is it time to talk about Daniel Isn't Real now? Shit. Alright. What's up, guys? This is my final video for Sociology 410. I'm so excited to be talking to you guys today about Daniel Isn't Real. Not only is it one of my favorite films of 2019, but it's also one of my favorite horror films of all time. For my final paper, I thought that this film could be covered under the sociological lens of gender because it discusses how toxic masculine behavior can take root, and it tackles it in a very unique way that I have not seen any film do before. Some of the heavy-hitting themes that Daniel Isn't Real chooses to explore are toxic masculine behavior, identity, personal trauma, coming of age, and mental illness. So Daniel Isn't Real follows the story of a boy named Luke Nightingale who witnesses the aftermath of a shootout when he's 8 years old. Immediately afterward, he meets an imaginary friend named Daniel. Luke ends up locking Daniel away in a dollhouse after a traumatic event with his mother. But when Luke is 20 and struggling in college with anxiety and fitting in, he resurrects Daniel in a personal attempt to right himself once again. What starts out as a peaceful friendship slowly turns pretty insane. Daniel embodies everything that Luke wishes that he could be. He's handsome, he's charming, but he's also very manipulative. He often makes Luke appear vulnerable.
You're a painter?
You're an artist too, Luke.
I do photography sometimes.
So that people will take pity on him and feel sorry for him. I really feel like Daniel represents the idea of the shadow self and how constantly people are battling with that. And something that I had written in my paper for this film was that it feels like, in a way, Daniel really isn't real, which is so funny because that's the title of the movie. In reality, when you look at it from an outside perspective, it would be seen as just a man kind of losing himself when he's coming of age. He's drinking a lot, he's doing drugs, he's having sex, he's getting violent, and all of these things that are associated with the word fun in Daniel's eyes, because Daniel always talks about how Luke is living in a mental prison and how he's not as fun as he used to be and how he wants him to get out and live and all this stuff. But in reality, all that Daniel is telling Luke is to embrace the darker side of himself. It often results in other people that he cares about getting hurt. There's a lot of body horror in this film, which is very unique, and it's done practically instead of having it done with like CGI. I just thought that was a cool little tidbit to find out. In my paper, I talked about the male gaze and how Laura Mulvey's visual pleasures in narrative cinema applies to Daniel Isn't Real, and I chose to sort of flip the script on it a little bit and consider it in the way that the male gaze presented in Daniel Isn't Real is from Daniel watching Luke, rather than the camera having itself a male gaze. It was very interesting to look at it that way because Daniel is always behind Luke. He's behind someone that Luke is talking to. He's just watching him. And it's very, very creepy. The guy who plays Daniel is actually the son of Arnold Schwarzenegger, which I thought was really cool. And he is really, really good as Daniel too. It's actually insane. In my paper, I talked about how Daniel also could be representative of how the evolution of the symbol of the other in horror films evolved to be inside oneself rather than be an extraneous symbol for change or changing family structures, like in Rosemary's Baby. And I talked about in my paper the Carol Clover article, Her Body Himself, and how the other that's supposed to be the horror in this film isn't really a supernatural creature. Toward the end, things get a little cosmic horror-esque and very worth watching, but I will keep that part under wraps. I don't want to spoil it. I'm telling you, it's literally so good. Definitely recommend this movie. It's so, so good. And the score is really good. Shameless plug. I did write a review for this movie, and I will put it in the description of this video if you really want to see my extra thoughts about this, because it's really hard sometimes to articulate what I feel about a movie in a video essay because it feels so on the spot. But if you guys have Shudder, it's on there. It just came out, so go watch it. This has been a great term. I really loved looking at all these movies this whole term, for real. Thank you guys for watching. This was really, really fun. I love talking about Daniel Isn't Real because I find new stuff out every single time that I watch it. I hope that you guys are safe, and I hope that your guys' finals are going well. And I hope that we all stay safe and healthy this summer and watch more horror films, because what else are you gonna do when you're stuck inside? Okay, thanks guys, I'll see you later.